into mid-cap at markets at noon right here on ET Now. And markets, Nifty now is sitting below that 26,200 mark. Nifty Bank down 200 points as we speak, near that 59,900 mark. But let's put the spotlight on the auto sector then. And auto retail sector ended calendar year 2025 on strong note. Remember, retail auto sales in the calendar year 2025 reported a growth of over 7.5% on a year-on-year basis. But will the growth sustain in the next year? That's the big question. And to decode that, we are now joined by Mr. C.S. Vigneshwar, President of FADA. Mr. Vigneshwar, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. If you can take us through your sense of how last year panned out and what is the outlook for 2026. Do you think auto sector will be able to match or perhaps beat the record that we set in 2025?
Thank you so much for your wishes. And yes, it's been a great year. It's been a long time coming. A few years we've been having a lot of headwind, and finally, I think things have panned out well for last year. We had more or less a 7.7% growth year on year for the calendar year. And I think that's fantastic. We did close to uh, 2 crore 81 lakh vehicles, all verticals combined. I think that's fantastic. Uh, but before going on to this year, I'll probably talk about a little bit of what happened last year. Last year was a very strange year in terms of it was a year of two halves. The first half, despite a lot of income tax relief, things didn't take off. But what really happened in the second half of the year actually happened in the last 3 months in terms of the GST, and its positive effects was really felt loud and clear. The second half was just fantastic. Moving on to this year, I think this year would be a growth story which continues. The story of GST, I think it has long-lasting implications. Overall, the harvesting of crops also has been quite strong. We've also been having a lot of positivity from the repo rate cuts, which has been happening. We also been having a lot of great vehicles which are going to be introduced in 2026. So all this put together, I think we expect the passenger vehicle segment, the commercial vehicle segment, and the two-wheeler segment grow very well. Overall, we are looking at about 8 or 9% growth for the industry. We're looking at high single-digit growth for both the PV and the two-wheeler segments.
Right, Mr. Vigneshwar, also in the second half of calendar year 2026, it's likely to outperform the first half, driven by festive demand and the rural recovery. Any early indicators the dealers are seeing at the ground level as well?
We are quite bullish about it because India is a nation of parts. When it comes to festivities, when it comes to these spikes. So typically we have Pongal and Shankranti in the south, which probably would help in terms of sales. We also have the marriage season starting off soon, so that is going to help. From that point of view, yes, but I think the GST impact is a positive impact which is here to stay for quite some time. It's not a impact which has lasted for a quarter or a month. It probably is going to be there for a few years. So at FADA, we are quite confident, and even our monthly survey says that a lot of our, there, 70% and above of dealers have talked about good growth and sentiment. So these are all good things because we always rely upon dealers because they are our sounding board and they are the ones who are closest to the customer. They're quite positive about it. Apart from that, we are also going to have another budget coming in, and I'm sure there would be some kind of measures to improve the economy, which is already doing well, but perhaps to turbo boost it. So all these things augur well for us, and we are quite positive about this growth story continuing on to 2026 too.
Okay, so the growth story is likely to continue in 2026. That's the word coming in. But Mr. Vigneshwar, let's also talk about the CV segment in particular. And sales of CV segment jumped a whole lot in the last few months. If you can take us through what led to that, and do you think this is led by replacement demand?
The commercial vehicles has been quite strong in terms of replacement demand, which has not happened in the last few years. So finally, that is coming into play. Apart from that, the whole economic activity again has gone up, not only for large goods being transported, but also these goods being broken and last mile deliveries coming in. So when you look at heavy commercial vehicles to the smaller commercial vehicles, I think the growth has been there. There's also been decent growth in the passenger vehicle segment from the buses point of view. The commercial passenger vehicle segment also has been growing well. So I think this growth would be here to stay because the country is growing at about 7 to 8% in terms of GDP. This would mean more goods need to be transported and distributed. So the commercial vehicle industry would be in much better state this year, this calendar year, than what it has been in the last couple of years.
Right. Mr. Vigneshwar, also, what is the status of compensation cess? Any clarity or the timeline you can share when a resolution is expected?
It is there at the Supreme Court, at the Honorable Supreme Court. So let's wait for the Honorable Supreme Court to take the decision in its immense wisdom.
And Mr. Vigneshwar, what will your expectation be when it comes to price hikes in the auto sector? Are you expecting lesser price hike this year as compared to last year?
Number one, I don't think I'm here representing price hikes because that's done by the OEMs. I would always want the price to be lower, as you rightly said. The lower the price, the better demand would be. But in a growing economy like us, there's also inflationary pressures, and I also understand that OEMs need to increase their prices. But however, I think it's a balance which OEMs have been working out along with their suppliers, and we dealers also being part of it for decades. So I don't think that's going to change. But of course, the GST and the reduction in the rates of cars and passenger and two-wheelers and other vehicles has really helped in more buyers coming in and buying with confidence. Because when you look at some prices of the entry-level cars, it has gone back to 2019 levels, so which is a big chunk of cost being taken off. We, however, ask the manufacturers. We always lies with them to keep the prices low, and they also do the best. But however, there are inflationary pressures which need to be considered.
Right. Also, talk to us about the current inventory levels across segments. Is that improving or is that still elevated?
It's gone down by a week. Right now, we are talking about 37 to 39 days stocks, which is okay. But this has come down to at least about 21 days, which we talk about the optimum level of stock. So let's see about how it goes.
Understood. So that's as far as the inventory level is concerned. But Mr. Vigneshwar, let's also talk about your expectations from the Union Budget 2026. We're just about 23, 24 odd days away from the budget. What will your and the auto sector's expectation be from the budget?
We've always requested for better depreciations for vehicles. This would really help and boost customer sentiment, and also in terms of measures which really make the economy better in terms of the money circulation being better, a lot of projects coming in. This would trickle down to customers, and customers would be able to afford better vehicles. So I think better spending, better government spending on infrastructure and any other projects, large projects or small, would help the economy. And if the economy does well, it leads to better buying of vehicles. So we hope for a buoyant budget this time around.
All right, Mr. Vigneshwar, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on the show. We'll let you go on that note. And with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After break, we'll keep getting you more updates on the market. Stay tuned.